If you want to grow your glutes and you've been doing endless glute workouts without seeing much change, this video is for you. Glute growth isn't about doing random exercises or endless banded workouts. They grow when you train them through the right movement patterns and resistance profiles. Hi, I'm Zita, a fitness and nutrition coach, and with my partner Terry, a neuropsychology and body image coach, we help men and women over 40 to escape diet prison and build strong, lean bodies through science-based training, nutrition, and behavior change, all without extremes. So hit that like button and subscribe for weekly videos on fat loss, muscle building, and training smarter after 40. Today, I'm going to break down exactly how to grow your glutes using the training principles of leading exercise researchers and trainers, and of course, based on personal experiences and experiences of our clients. Expectations versus reality. Most people believe glute growth comes from doing endless squats, training the glutes every single day, or going for that glute burn sensation by doing countless banded donkey kicks. Muscle growth doesn't come from burning. It comes from mechanical tension, progressive overload, and training muscles through their full functional range. And the glutes are a complex muscle group that performs several different actions at the hip. If you only train one of those actions, you're leaving a lot of growth on the table. Your glutes grow best when you train them 3 times per week with adequate recovery between sessions and progressive overload to drive adaptation. If you provide very little stimulus, the glutes never get the signal to grow. And if you are doing way too much, fatigue sets in and they never recover enough to grow. So the sweet spot sits right in the middle. Why 3 days per week works best? Research shows that the glutes respond extremely well to moderate frequency training, especially when volume is distributed across multiple sessions. So instead of destroying your glutes once per week with a brutal workout, spreading the training across 3 sessions per week allows you to train with higher quality, maintain better form, generate more total weekly volume, and recover faster between sessions. The rule of thirds. One of the most useful frameworks for glute programming is the rule of thirds proposed by Brett Contreras, which states that optimal glute development comes from balancing 3 key elements in your program: movement vectors, load, and effort. When you distribute your training across these areas, you ensure the glutes are stimulated from multiple angles and intensities rather than relying on just one type of exercise. Without going into too much detail on the rule of thirds, you want to ensure that about 1/3 of your glute exercises are horizontal, such as hip thrusts, glute bridges, and cable kickbacks. 1/3 to be vertical vector, like squats, lunges, and deadlifts, and 1/3 to be lateral or rotary vector, such as banded lateral walks or abduction movements. You should also vary the load and repetition ranges used in your program. While moderate loads are often most efficient for hypertrophy, incorporating a range of intensities can create a broader stimulus for muscle growth. So 1/3 of your sets should be heavy, with roughly 1 to 5 reps per set. And this is ideal for strength and high mechanical tension. 1/3 of your sets should be moderate loads, around 6 to 15 reps per set, which research often identifies as an effective range for muscle hypertrophy. And 1/3 of your sets should be in the higher rep ranges of 16 to 30 or more repetitions with light load, which create metabolic stress and allow additional training volume without excessive joint loading. And the final component is effort, which can be measured using the concept of reps in reserve, or how many repetitions you could still perform at the end of a set. So the rule of thirds suggests distributing effort roughly across 3 levels. So 1/3 of your sets should be taken to absolute muscle failure. 1/3 of your sets should be a couple of repetitions shy of failure, and 1/3 should be nowhere near failure. And accessory exercises such as abductions or cable kickbacks or banded kickbacks often fall into this last category. Ladies over 40, we have a free training on how to lose menopausal belly fat and rocking a bikini after 40. So hit the link in the description below and watch it now. Now let's talk about exercise selection. The best way to group glute exercises is to break them into 4 major groups and ensure that you include a few exercises from each of the groups on your free glute focused exercise days. So group number 1 is hip thrusts and bridges. Now, including all the hip thrust variations you can think of, from body weight, barbell, Smith machine, plate loaded machine, single leg hip thrusts. And then when it comes to the bridges, again, your glute bridges with dumbbells or barbells or on the Smith machine or barbell frog pumps, just to mention a few. Group 2 is squats and lunges, such as Smith machine or barbell back squat, glute focused Bulgarian split squats. Now again, this could be done with dumbbells or on the Smith machine, walking lunges, step ups, leg presses, and again, just to mention a few. Group 3 is hinge and pull movements, including deadlifts, RDL, and all its variations like single leg RDLs, B-stance RDLs. Now you also have your good mornings, back extensions, 45 or reverse hypers, leg curl variations like lying ham curl or Nordic ham curl, and so on. And group 4 is hip abduction movements in a frontal and transverse planes. So the frontal plane would be like your glute medius kickbacks, glute medius hip thrusts, bridged hip abduction, banded standing hip abduction. And the transversal plane would be like your seated hip abduction or side lying hip raises and much more. Now we also have kickbacks and its variations that could be with bands or cable machines, and these are great to be sprinkled in as a finisher. The biggest mistake I see is people using very light weights only instead of progressively overloading the glutes. The gluteus maximus is the biggest single muscle in the body, so they can take it, guys. They can take load. It's no issue. Muscles grow because they are exposed to increasing tension over time. And also tracking your lifts is crucial if you are serious about growing your glutes. Adding load gradually and repeating movements consistently long enough for your body to adapt. I always track my reps and weights so I know exactly where I started. When I first started lifting weights 3 years ago, I could only do 20 kg hip thrusts for 4 sets of 12. Today, I'm lifting 80 kg for 5 sets of 10. So I know exactly that I increased my strength significantly in the past 3 years. Another thing is, don't skip your warm-up exercises. They are not just a formality before the real workout. They are there for a reason. A proper warm-up helps increase blood flow to the muscles, raise body temperature, and also prepare your joints and connective tissues for the load you're about to place on them. And not to mention that this significantly reduces the risk of injury, but also it activates the specific muscles you're about to train. And then there's another important reason, the mind-muscle connection. When you perform warm-up sets with lighter weights or activation exercises, you give your brain time to connect with the target muscle group. And this is so important. This improves muscle muscle recruitment during your working sets, meaning the right muscles are doing the work instead of other areas compensating. So think of your warm-up as the bridge between everyday movement and effective training. It prepares your body, protects your joints, and helps you get the most out of every exercise. And of course, we have to talk about the nutrition piece. Most people ignore. Muscle cannot grow without sufficient calories and protein. If you're constantly dieting or under eating, the body simply doesn't have the resources to build new tissue. This is why many people train their glutes for years but never see real development. The stimulus is there, but the fuel isn't. Glute hypertrophy takes patience, consistency, and structured progression. It doesn't happen overnight. If you want help building a structured strength program that actually reshapes your body instead of just making you tired, click the link below to schedule your free consultation and learn more about working with us. And next, I want you to watch this video where I break down how to lose fat and build muscle at the same time.